I don't want nobody change me now. Cause I like to be myself. If you're not agree, you can walk away. You can walk away. You can walk away. Something in my mind leads me then I ain't nobody perfect. Something in my mind leads me then I ain't nobody perfect.
So welcome back, J Girl Beauty Fam Bam. How are you guys all doing today? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I've been feeling very sick. I'm allergic to gluten and I've been eating a lot of foods that have gluten. So I'm supposed to stick to a diet and eat gluten-free foods and I haven't. So I had been running a fever for 102. And so yeah, I've been not really feeling too good. Today I felt a little bit better, but I did screw up and eat gluten again. So I wasn't feeling too great, but I wanted to get this video done. I've been wanting to do it for a while now. My name is Janelle. So if you are returning or if you are been in the fam bam for a while now, you know the drill. Make sure you guys are, if you guys are new and you've stopped by to hear one of my story times or see one of my makeup looks, please hit that subscribe button, share my video, and click that button, like button, and yeah, stick around because we will be having more story times here. So we did a look with Nikita Dragon palette. Let's jump into this video. Okay, y'all, it's story time about me dating hold on, let me get my brushes. Okay, I'm not gonna be really explaining to you what all I'm doing, just follow with me. It's just blend, you know, the usual circular motions, windshield wiper motions, you know the drill, packing and all that good stuff. So I will be saying what eyeshadow I'll be using, but where I'm going to be talking about the story. So yeah, we're going to be using the Nikita Dragon eyeshadow palette, and it also did come with brushes. Did come with the Nikita Morphe brushes. I probably won't be using these brushes, but I will use them and let you guys know if they're worth it. But you know what? I think Morphe brushes are awesome. So I have a lot of Morphe brushes. Might be using a few of them, but not sure. So anyways, let's jump into this video. Okay, we're gonna be going in with this shade right here, Mama Dragon, which is that purple shade. And we're just gonna pack it on, like so. So I started dating a inmate in maximum security prison. This was a guy that I knew. My sister used to hang out with him when we were young, we were growing up, and I also dated him when I was in high school in 9th grade. So I had known this guy, so it wasn't just like a stranger. So we had dated in 9th grade year. He had liked me for a while, and I know he liked the Knicks. So I don't know, I don't think my parents let me date. So at that age, I don't think. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't. They were pretty strict with us. So we started dating. And I moved in with my aunt at around this time, and I remember us going to the mall and us, you know, holding hands or whatnot and stuff like that. Just little things, you know. I was young, still a virgin, you know, all that good stuff.
Cause I don't want nobody change me now. Cause I like to be myself. If you're not agree, you can walk away. You can walk away. You can walk away. Something in my mind makes me think I ain't nobody perfect.
My aunt would let him come over. We would play Nintendo, you know, Nintendo where you would play Nintendo, what is it? Tetris on it, and we would play and, you know, just hang out. We were pretty young, and I don't know if I told my sister or he told my sister. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and pack in the Regan Man or something. But anyways, we ended up, I don't know, like I said, I don't remember if he told her or what, but I'm sure he had to eventually, you know, tell her, because they were friends. They were good friends. They used to hang out. They used to, you know, go places together. And I know one time where, you know, we were dating or whatnot, and we were driving to Los Lunas, I believe, and we were listening to music, you know, just kissing, making out, whatever. And then when he had got there, he started going out with this girl that he was seeing out in that place where we were going. So yeah, how fun, huh? That you're dating someone, but yet they hang out with your sister, but they're dating someone else. And, you know, at the time it was just like, it's whatever, you know. So I knew that and whatever. And so after a while, I think we dated for a little bit. His sister didn't really like me. I could tell. You know, when you get that vibe, like someone doesn't really like you because you're dating their brother or whatnot, or whatever reasons they have. She didn't even know me, but she didn't really care for me, you could tell. So I always used to feel uncomfortable when I would go to his house. And then so after all that had happened, you know, we were young, whatever. I don't know what happened. I guess we just stopped seeing each other after a while, and, you know, he went his own way and started doing his own thing, you know, how people do. And so at this time, I don't know how we broke up, why we broke up, but we did. So I was doing my own thing. I don't know exactly what was going on, because like I said, this is back in, I was in high school. So one day, I guess he got caught up doing some stuff, and he was in a high-speed chase. Well, that day, that same day, he had done some stuff. Well, he was doing some drugs, and he was young, you know, he was pretty young at the time, I believe. I'm not too sure, like, I don't really remember when all this happened, but he was pretty young. And he ended up coming to our house that day when he was getting chased by the police. He had him on a high-speed pursuit chase, and he came to my house, which was my parents' house, and he came looking for us that day, and we weren't there. And my dad had told us that, you know, he came by and he was looking for us. So I found out he was in prison in maximum security when I, okay, and the next I'm gonna go with ABH, which is this purple right here. ABG, sorry. And I found out he was in prison when I started going to pregnant school, when I was pregnant with my daughter. I ended up going to school with his stepsister at my school, which was for people that that are pregnant and you have your baby in school and stuff. New Futures, I believe it was called. I graduated from New Futures when I was 17. So I had seen his stepsister there, like I was saying. We were going to middle school together. We went to middle school together and stuff. And so we started talking, and I asked about her brother, her stepbrother. She told me that he was in prison and what he had done and stuff. And she told me if I wanted to see him, you know, I could go with his other two sisters that usually always go and see him out there. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So I called up her sisters. I think she gave me their numbers, and I ended up calling one of them, and I ended up starting to go and to see him while he was out there in prison. And so when I got there, we just talked about how, you know, how he liked me and everything, and like we just started dating after that. We just started talking on the phone. We dated for like a year and a half or almost 2 years, and I would go visit him all the time in prison. Okay, and so, sorry, it's like I have a dry spot and I had to keep packing that purple on. But anyways, we just like always we always liked each other. Like, he was really nice. Like, he treated me good. He always made me seem like I was beautiful, you know, and I did lack a lot of self-esteem at the time. So I don't know, we just kept seeing each other. I just kept visiting him. He said, you know, he didn't really have very much people that would go out and visit him. So, you know, it would be nice that I could see him. And he asked me, you know, like, do you really want to be with someone that's in prison? I can't do nothing for you, but I believe that I'm going to get out one day. And I was like, yeah, of course, you know, it's my decision. Oh, we're going in with the color BB Boy, which is that blue. And, so I was like, you know, sure. So I dated him for, like I said, a year, almost 2 years, and I would go and see him in prison. We would talk on the phone as much as he could call and stuff. And I got, you know, I was living with my daughter's dad at the time, so I had to get my own cell phone. I mean, my own home line, so he can be able to call. So, like I said, every time I had a chance or whatever, I would go out and visit him and stuff and see him as much as I could. We'd write letters to each other, This was someone that, you know, we even talked about marriage. We talked about moving to Florida, getting married and having kids. And oh no, just seems like my eyes are just patchy, dry, or something's going on. Okay, so next we're gonna go in with one more color and we're done, and then we'll cut the crease. So anyways, like I was saying, so in this prison, before they put up the glass and you're able to talk on the phone, you know, there was a wall which was okay, so you go into this room, they take you first, they take you into the room first. It's all block brick walls, and then in the middle it was like short enough to like hit like right here. So if you're in the prison, the brick wall would hit like about up to here to you, somewhere around here, or maybe even like right here area. And so you were able to like hug, kiss, make out in there, give BJs. It was crazy. Even have sex in this place. And you would know the CO is really good, and all they would do is they would say, give me about a couple minutes, and they would ring their keys when they were coming by. So they would shake their keys so you would know they're coming and you stop doing what you're doing. And so I did everything except for have sex with him in prison, and I was so scared and terrified to do that. He asked me and asked me and asked me and asked me for so long to do that, and I was so scared because, okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and go in with Nikita on the top of this pink color. And okay, hold on.
Within, ain't nobody perfect. Something in my mind. It's within, ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect.
And so I was so terrified because I had gotten molested when I was 11 years old, and I was scared like one of those COs would catch you, and yeah, you would be banned from going to see him for like 2 weeks. But I was scared that one of those COs can like, you know, do something to me. So I was really scared. So I would always tell him no, no, no. And he would wear dresses. All these girls would wear dresses, and me and one of my friends started going with me, and she would tell me like, I would drive her, she would drive me sometimes, and she would tell me like, yeah, I wear dresses and we have sex in there. And I'm like, you're crazy. And she's like, yeah, we do. She's all, and then they just like shake their things and their keys, and we know when to stop, so we stop. And I'm like, you are so crazy. And she's all, yeah, one time I got busted and I couldn't see him for like a whole 2 weeks. And I was like, you're crazy. I was like, no, I can't do that. And he always begged me, and I was like, no, 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 no. And like I said, you know, I really cared for this person a lot. You know, we were together for a year and a half, and like I said, I knew him. So it wasn't like a stranger. I dated him when I was in high school. He was a good person, you know, and he always said his, you know, they went to church and stuff, and he always said that he was going to get out of prison, and I knew he would. And like I said, I was willing to get married to him. I really didn't see anybody else. I was living with my, like I said, daughter's mom, my daughter's grandma. So, you know, I wasn't seeing him or dating her dad or anything. So I was dating him. And like I said, we talked about getting married and having kids and moving to Florida. So anyways, let me go ahead and finish this eye and I'll be back. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the crease. We're back and we're running. Anyways, I don't know. I use this and I haven't used this in a long time, and maybe I shouldn't have. I just should have just used the regular one that I always use, you know. But I used the white so the colors would have came out brighter, but I think I made a bad choice. But anyways, let me get a little brush. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with this Mama Dragon color. We're gonna kind of leave a line at the top. So okay, so anyways, so yeah, we're dating and all, and so finally, I mean, his dad was a Christian, so his dad used to go to church all the time, and he used to tell me that his son was going to get out of jail one day and he was going to walk out of that prison, and he just believed and he knew. And you know, when he did all this stuff, he was pretty young, so you know, he wasn't a bad guy. He just got hanging around with the wrong crowd and started doing some stupid stuff, and did some stupid stuff that day when he was, you know, on drugs. So my family was like freaking out because, you know, I'm dating someone that's in prison, and they just were like, you're gonna really sit there and like wait your whole life until he gets out of prison? And I'm like, yeah, I love him, I would tell him. I think they thought I was cray cray. You guys are probably thinking I'm cray cray. And so like I said, his dad used to go to church a lot, and you know, we used to pray a lot for his son, and he was always talking that his son was going to get out of prison one day and he was going to walk out of that prison. And he always said that to me. He always used to tell me that. I used to talk to him too while I was visiting him and stuff. And ended up, okay, so next shade. So, you know, he did some stuff that when he was in prison, he did things that, you know, you shouldn't do. Then we're going to go ahead and go in with Nikita. And he started going to jail. I mean, he gave himself to the Lord in prison. And he started doing Bible study in prison. He started talking to a lot of people in jail about God and stuff, and a lot of people used to freak out because when he was in there before, he wasn't, he was doing some crazy stuff in there. And to survive, so yeah. And so anyways, we would read the Bible together and stuff, and we would just talk about God sometimes when we would talk on the phone or in writing or whatever. And then it ended up coming to an end one day. Well, actually, he kept asking me to have sex with him, and you know, like, we've been together for a long time. And so finally I was like, oh right. I was really scared, shitting my pants, pooping my pants this day. I was so scared I was gonna get caught. We were gonna get caught, and I was gonna be so screwed. So yes, he had a condom and everything. We used protection. And so he asked me that day, and I was so nervous. And I was like, okay. So I jumped over that brick wall that I was telling you about, and so pulled down my suspenders that I had on that day, and we did it for a while. You know, it's not comfortable. You're in a prison cell and you're trying to make sure you don't get caught because you're going to be screwed. So did it for I don't know how long, whatever, 3 minutes, maybe 5 at the most, and all of a sudden you hear we were already pulling up our stuff, and you hear keys coming down the ways, and you sit there and you act like normal and you're not even doing anything. That was the scariest day of my life, let me tell you. It's like they know what you're doing in there because they're shaking their keys. So anyways, yeah, that was the first and the last time I did that. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with this shade right here, Securtiy. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with this Reg Gin Man color. I'm butchering it. And so we see each other for a while after this, and you know, like I said, he was praying a lot. He was doing a lot of Bible study. He was doing stuff in there with the guys that was in prison with him, and he wanted to change his life. And I guess, you know, he felt like he needed to break up with me because he couldn't provide for me, he told me, and he wanted me to go on my way, you know, like to not wait around for him, that I deserved better, that I deserved someone that could be there for me. And he couldn't be that guy. He was in prison, you know. He didn't know if he was ever going to get out. But like I said, his dad knew he was going to get out of prison. And so he, like, that day, I had went to go see him in prison. He told me that he couldn't see me anymore, and that just crushed me, because like I said, we were seeing each other for 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I wasn't dating anybody. I really didn't cheat on him. I don't think I cheated on him, not even once. So it just like crushed me, and I felt so bad. But at the same time, you know, I understood what he was saying, but I knew that he would get out of prison one day. And then we're going to go into BB Boy. And so I got like all hurt and all defensive. And I was like, well, that's okay, because anyways, I'm going to end up working it out with me and my baby daddy, which was a lie, because I wasn't going to work it out with him. We didn't talk about it at this time, but we did eventually work it out after, you know, stopped seeing him and stuff and whatnot. But I didn't want to be with anybody. I wanted to be with him. I knew one day he was going to walk out of prison myself too. You know, And because what he did, you know, he was young and he served his time, and I don't know. That's what I had a feeling in my gut. And like I said, I wanted to marry him. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to have a future with this guy. Like I said, he treated me really good. Like, he loved me. He never talked bad about me. He always just cared about me. I don't know. So, I was hurt. I was crushed, and I just walked out of the prison. I just left. I think I even left early, and I slammed the door. Well, I didn't slam the door. I just left and never talked to him after that, you know. There was nothing to talk about. He never sent me a letter. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go in with Nick, and we're just going to put it in the middle of that cicada in the blue. His dad didn't call me or anything or say anything about him again. Like, he never said, you know, he misses you, he wants to talk to you, nothing. So I just knew it was over. So I just moved on with my life. Like I said, he didn't bother me. He didn't try to get in contact with me or anything. So I moved on with my life. He moved on with his life. I don't know what he was doing at the time, but he was in prison. I was, me and my daughter's dad tried to make it work, but it didn't work. So we broke up. I think that time, yeah, we had gotten engaged. I mean, he had asked me to marry him again. This is the second time, and I had said yes, and things were going good, but I think I caught him cheating on me and stuff, and things got really bad where domestic violence ended up happening and stuff like that. I'll tell you that in another story. But anyways, we broke up, and then I was just working and, you know, doing my thing, taking care of my daughter and stuff. And then along came my twin boy's dad, and we started dating, and we got together, and we were together for 10 years, married for 8 years. And you guys aren't going to believe. You guys are thinking right now, huh? If I ever got to find out if he got out of jail, right? Well, he did. I wasn't supposed to know. I wasn't supposed to find out. My parents, you know, back in the days, everybody had a phone line, and you know, people didn't disconnect their phones just to disconnect their phone numbers. They had the same phone number for years, right? So we had the same phone number. My parents still live where I grew up when I was little, and they still live there now. And so anyways, he got out of prison, and he called, or he went to visit them. I think he went to visit my family, and that's when my two sisters were there, and my mom and dad. And he went over and stopped by to visit my family, you know, and to see how they were doing and stuff, and talk to my sister and stuff, and tell him how it went, and, you know, how he got out of prison and everything. And he mentioned my name, my sister said, and he had asked how I was, and they told him I was good, that I was married, and I had twin boys and a daughter. So after he heard that, he told my sister and pleaded with them, please do not tell her I came by. Don't tell her, don't mention anything to her. Don't tell her anything. Just don't mention nothing. Don't tell her I'm here. Don't tell her I stopped by. Don't tell her I asked about her. Nothing. He said, I don't want to ruin her marriage. And he left, my sister said. And so one day, I don't know, I called over there, and we were talking, and my sister goes, guess what? And I said, what? And she's all, but you promised you can't call him, you can't go see him, because, you know, I knew where his dad lived and stuff. And when he got out of prison, you know, that's where he was going. And so I was like, I won't. I promise I won't. And she told me, you know, everything that happened then. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got so excited. Okay, so me and my ex-husband weren't doing too good. You know, he had been cheating on me. There was a lot of domestic violence, a lot of verbal abuse, just things that weren't going too great. I tried to divorce him once. I mean, I was on the verge of divorcing him once, and then we got back together. So I decided to call his dad's phone number. So me and my friend, she lived downstairs from me in these apartments, and I had told her the story about it, and I told her I wanted to see him, and we were going to call him. So I was going to call him. So I called him, and I think his dad answered. I don't remember. This was like back in 1999, 2000, you know, when he got out of prison. I don't know the exact date or year, but I don't know. We were just having trouble in our marriage. I know that maybe 2005. I don't really know. So anyways, I called his dad. I don't remember if his dad answered. I think he did, and he gave the phone to him. So when he got on the phone, we started talking, and he told me, how did I know he was out of prison? And he said, I told your sister not to say nothing or anything. And I said, well, she did, and I called you. And so he was just like, it's not right. Like, you know, you're married. So anyways, he was like, you know, I'm not a homewrecker. You're married. I don't want to cause problems in your marriage or anything like that. You know, I'm going to church. I just got out of prison. He's like, starting my life. He's like, I love you. And we loved each other. Like, you know, he was my first love. And he's like, this is really hard on me. He was like, this is really hard on me. Like, you know, I just got out of prison, and I would love to be with you. I would love to see you, but it's just not right, you know. I even told my dad about this, and he told me not to see you or anything like that because, you know, things can happen. He's like, so please don't come to my house or anything. And I was like, okay, I won't. He's like, this is so hard because I'm going to have to like tear up all the pictures that I have of you. He's like, I'm going to have to cut up all the pictures, tear up all the pictures that I have of you and stuff that I had sent to him and while he was in prison and stuff. And I told him, and I tried to explain to him, you know, that me and my ex-husband had problems. It was really bad. I wanted to divorce him. I went through the whole process of divorcing him, and then he begged me back, and he pleaded with me, and he told me he would never cheat on me again. So we were trying to work it out, but I told him, you know, that I would divorce him and I would leave him and I would like to be with him. But at the time, he was just like, I just think this is best. You know, you are still married. I just don't want to cause any problems. Like, this is the last time we'll talk. This is the last time it's over, you know? So I was like, okay, so what can I do, you know? I was married, had kids. He had just got out of prison. And I just wanted the answer, and I just wanted to know why he never tried to call me, tried to see anything while he was still there in prison, you know? But he just said that was best for, he needed that, to have more of a relationship with God. So yeah, that was that. So anyways, hung up the phone, and I was so curious, just like so curious to see him. So me and my neighbor were like, let's go drive over there. And I was like, you knock on the door and you ask for him because they don't know who you are. So they're not going to know that I'm the one trying to see him or look for him or anything. Just go and see. So she went over there to the door and she knocked on the door and they were talking and stuff. And I didn't see him come out, because if he would have came out to the yard or anywhere, I would have probably ran out of the car and went to give him a big old hug. But he didn't. He just said, I don't know what he told her. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And so they finished talking. We got in my car and we went back to my apartment. And that was the end of that. And I was just telling my neighbor friend that I wish things would have went differently, you know, that I would have divorced my ex-husband and started a family with him. But that didn't happen, you know. That wasn't God's plan. So anyways, moving forward. I stood with my husband and stuff. We were having problems. Second time we were getting a divorce. He cheated on me again. Went through the whole process again to file for a divorce. And he begged me again. He went to my sister's apartment. He dragged me out of there, told me to come home, that he was sorry, he would never do this again, yada, yada, yada. You know, the same old routine. So anyways, went back and same old thing happened again. So for the third time, he cheated on me again. And this was the final time. He ended up moving in with another woman. And we finally got a divorce. No, we were in the process of getting a divorce. Do you think I ended up running into this guy again? Yes. Crazy. We ended up going to one of my friend's churches. I was going to a church, his place, I believe, and she had invited me to another church. I don't know what it was called, but it was a lot of young people used to go there, and they used to like Christian rap songs or something. And she had invited me there because her son was going to sing there. So I told her, sure, I'll go. So me and my sons went, and while I was in service, I seen someone there praising the Lord, and I looked at him and I was like, that is him. And I recognized him, and then I asked my friend if that was him and if that was his name, and she said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. So when service was done, he ended up going to get some coffee, I think, and I went to go get some water, and me and my twin boys were there, and we ended up talking. He was like, hi. We gave each other a hug, and we just asked each other how we were doing. He was like, are these your kids? I was like, yeah. And then his wife came out of one of the classrooms. I guess she was a teacher there. He introduced me to her, and that was the end of that. And I didn't want to go back to that church anymore because I didn't feel comfortable, because, you know, him and his wife were there. So I stopped going. Never returned. But yeah, crazy how I ran into him for the first time, like finally seeing him. So yeah, he's out of prison. He's doing well. He has a family, he has kids, and that's all I know. And that's it. And that's the story. So a lot of COs, a lot of POs, they're shady. They've been shady for a very long time. Back in 1999, 97, 98, however long I dated him for. I don't know what all they do, but if they shake their keys so they can let you know that you have 5 minutes to have sex in their prison, and you better this is a finished
put on your clothes so you don't get caught.
That's pretty crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to share this story. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are the stories that I went through and have happened to me. So these are my own personal opinions. These are my own personal stories that I have been through. So like I said, there was a lot of criminal ones that people do their makeup and talk about. So I just wanted to share my life stories that I have went through, and the stuff that I struggled with, and how I turned my life around, and how much happier I am, and how I fell in love with myself and started to learn to love myself and change for the better. So that's why I'm sharing my stories with you guys all. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one. We did the look with Nikita Dragon palette. I really like it. Next time when I use this, when I clean my eye with the Q-tip and with the water, I just have to make sure that I keep track, I wipe it dry because I was putting on this and it was wet, and so I dried it a little bit with some white powder on top, but I think that's why I was having a little bit of trouble having some of the eyeshadow stick. But anyways, and anyhow, so I'll catch you on the next one. Never forget, y'all, te amo muchísimo.